Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Play options. First option you can see is the time where you can select which time zone you want. If you want the 2022 also visible, click on this 2022. And if you want this view to be visible to all the user as default, you click on this checkbox. By this you mean all the users. We can see 2021 data and 22 data. What is this option? Suppress rows of zeros and rank. Suppose this account salaries as wages is 0. There is no data in it. This will not be visible. If you select on this, if you are selecting this, it is not visible. Suppose I don't select this and I click on. The sheet will change and there could be certain accounts where there is no data. There is 0 data. We will be able to see. Let's see if there is an entire line item where it is 0. I think at the moment you can see this account. Canada office rent. There is no account. Let's say there is no value here, but it is still visible. Because you said that it should be visible. Let's go and let's suppress this. Once you click this, nothing will be visible. This Canada office rent. Below 6365, we will notice that this should not be visible. Let's see if it is visible below 6 reading 65. You can see 660. All the accounts got hidden because we have already suppressed it. I'll just save this. The next feature is the refresh feature is basically just like a reload button. You can get it here also. It's just refreshing the entire page. This is nothing but your chart. I will show you this select. Suppose you want to search for telephone expense. I'm just going to write telephone and it directly pops out the thing which is highlighting the telephone. This is a search bar basically which gives you this. There is additional. I was talking about version comparison and spark lines. It's basically in an Excel file. When you get is my screen visible? Yes, in an Excel file. If you want to compare this with, let's say you want to compare this with the one column and this. Is this January 21? Oh, 21. I want this 21. But this is your actual data and this is your budget version. In the screen itself, if you want to compare what happened in January 2022 and you want to compare it with 21, basically you plan it accordingly. Suppose in action it was 80 and that's how you plan it in budget. There is some background noise coming from. I was saying that if you compare in the same screen for every month, it gives you a comparison for every month. Basically, this will have a Feb 21 here also, and this will be for the same. You get a version comparison. Basically, got it this kind of thing. This adaptive allows you to have a version comparison where you can select the which particular year you want to compare to. Suppose let's try if it's working. I don't know if it will work. And let's say comparison version, I'm going to select as actuals and backward, let's say 1 year, 1 comparison version. Let's say you will see if we get any comparison thing. There should be some data, and you can see. You will see one data in gray and one data in actuals. Now it is showing the same data. Let's change the thing again in version comparison working budget. Let's do this one once. Select your 21. You can see now you have working budget. You have 3 comparison in one page. You can do 2 comparison also. You can do 3 comparisons also That's the maximum that the sheet can provide you at a time. If you want to compare actual budget and your focus in the same sheet, it gives you that kind of thing. Only thing you need to focus on how you can control the months by controlling the offset. Basically, by doing one and this, you can control the offset. As of now, it's offset year 1. It's offset year 1. If you do 2, and it will change. Basically, you need to control it that way. This is the feature that you get in a standard sheet. Now you can see 19, 20, 21. You get the comparison of all the 3 years. Similarly, you need to make it logical that what exactly you need to compare with what. That's how version comparison is done. The next feature is your spark lines. Basically, spark line is nothing, but it gives you the data. Suppose you want the data. You want a chart like, what is the graph for that? It gives you a trend, basically. For telephone, this is the trend. You will see Zoom and you will see the data. It is directly popping up and which version you want to see. If you want to see for actuals, this is the data. This is for actual. That is going like this. It gives you a feature. You have to do nothing in Excel file. What you will do? You will go in Insert, you will add a chart. You will do this. But in here you just go and select the by default features. If you want to change the type of the graph, you just select this and you do it. And even that is possible and you just open that sheet, that particular trend chart, and it is visible here also. It gives you everything in one particular template. Whatever you want to do the changes. Any questions on the standard sheet? Because we covered all the features and functionalities of a standard sheet. We saw the roll up accounts where you can enter the data, which version you need to select, and all the properties of all the functionalities of the standard sheet and how you can save this. I have one doubt. Basically, like the doubt is with respect to, importing the data. For example, you have created your levels, the accounts, everything is in place. And the standard sheet, the outline, everything is in place. Now you want the data to be imported. How do we do that? Yes, we have a separate session for that, and it's a 2-hour session, I think. I think we will cover this on Monday. I think it's on Monday. It's scheduled for Monday. Basically, there are 2 ways of data importing. One is the manual way and one is the through import template. We will do it both. But first we are seeing how we can create the sheet, and then we are seeing what are the features of that sheet. This is the sheet we built. Now try to answer a question. I am going to ask you, can you tell me which product did you sell here? In looking at the sheet, Can you tell me which product did you sell? Which product? Yes, can you tell me which product did you sell? Suppose there is some sample data. Here's some sample data here, 1000, 2000. Imagine any numbers. Imagine these accounts. And can you tell me which products did you sell? From looking at the sheet, only thing what I can tell you is there were certain products which were sold from store analytics. But which product is? No, perfect. This is the challenge of a cube sheet. I will again ask you now, suppose there could be 10 salesmen in your company in this particular store. Can you tell me which salesmen to sold? How many products? Can you tell me with that? With this data here? No, correct. That is where your cube sheet will come into picture. Now I am telling you, these are my products category. I want to understand how many AP laptops were sold, how many Lenovo laptops were sold, how many on Nepplus mobile were store sold, and how many iPhone were sold. What do you understand from this? You will create this as a dimension. You understood, you will create this as a dimension. Now again, I want to understand that. How many products Alex sold? Alex is belonging to suppose New York store. How many products did Alex sell? Can I tell it from the standard sheet? The answer is no, but can I tell it from a cube sheet? The answer is yes. Yes, exactly, it is the same format. You can see it is the same format. I want the same template. Only thing I want is I want some dimensions to be added in the sheet that I can plan and see the data that how much sales representative have worked and how which type of product have sold. This number of products sold in January is. But out of that 100, how many were mobiles? How many were Vs? I want that kind of data. You are planning at that level, right? You want to know how many mobiles got sold. You want to know how many TVs got sold, correct? We will try to build this particular case study now that we complete the cube sheet also. What do you understand? This is fine. I was able to build the cube sheet, but this does not give me further data, right? It does not give me additional information which I really want to capture in the system. This is just giving me a top level data. At the top level, it is just like a financial statements, income statement, your balance sheet. They are always preferred as a standard sheet because they don't need a dimension, in that they need a top level data, correct? That's why you need to understand when to create a standard sheet and when to create a cube sheet. Let's say we want to build this structure. Now what do we make sure? What? We said that we want this. We want this second. In a cube sheet, we require all this. Let's check if we have version. We have version already. We have accounts already. We have time? Already we have levels. Do we have dimensions? We need to check. Let's say I think we created a few dimensions yesterday related to products. We will use that. Let's go on dimensions. We will use product name 2 or we will use this one. Maybe we have the product. Let's say I want to understand from this sheet how many product were sold, how many product B were sold, and how many products C were sold. We will utilize this dimension in this sheet, correct? That will make us make a cube sheet in that. And another information I want to capture is how many salespersons sold how many products. I would say a sales representative I need to build. Or how many customers have purchased for which particular mobile. But let's say we want to build this. Do we have sales representative? No, let's quickly create sales representative. Inside sales, I would select new value. Let's write Alex. Save Alex. Save a new. Let's say Rachel. Save a new. I want a female employee. Now let's write Julie, for example. I will save this. This is done. Dimension is done. Let's try to build this sheet in a cube manner. I don't want this in a standard sheet manner. I want this in a cube manner. It is the same process. Where should you go? Level assigned sheets again. Click on level assigned sheets. You click on new sheet again. You have to choose the option correct here, which is your cubed sheet. And now it is asking me to write the name, and it is again asking me something called as account code prefix. When you select standard, this account code prefix was not coming. But when you select cube or when you select model, this is coming. Any guesses why it is coming? Because what happens is in a cube sheet, you have separate accounts. As I said, that cube sheet, it's cube account. You know, cube accounts are there only inside a cube sheet. Model accounts are there only inside a model sheet. When you address the formula, the cube name is also there and the account name is also there. You will understand the formula writing in the formula session. But let's say I am going to write this cube practice like CF and CF cube. This is my prefix for this sheet. Let's do next. Now you will see the model will ask you for two things. One is your cube accounts creation and the second is your dimension, attributes and levels. First, try to understand what should be there. Let's see how a cube sheet looks like. Similarly, you will build it. I think the cube sheet was product revenue. We will open a product revenue sheet. We are trying to build this sheet by adding dimension. You can see accounts is version is. But you can see this is changed. I will just show you the standard sheet. Accounts is time is, version is. Only thing was levels was coming here in a standard sheet, right? But in a cube sheet. Everything remains the same. Only thing the dimensions have been added here. This is a dimension, product is a dimension. Size and color is an attribute to the product. We have added two dimensions and the levels are coming here. Similarly, we need to create here. First you go and into this second column to add whatever things you want to show here. You can see this is the thing. You need to show levels. You need to show the dimensions. You need to show whatever attributes you want. That is the meaning of this. You got my point? What you are going to do here? Yes, by default. When you click on that, you can see time. Account level is there. These are three by default things which are coming automatically. You get to select which particular things you want to display. I want to display only month and year. I will only select month. I want to select accounts, but at the moment, there are no accounts here. You can see everything is blank. That means you need to create accounts inside the cube sheet. We will do that. Levels, which levels? You want access. You want the access to given to all the levels at the moment. I selected all the levels here. If you want this particular sheet only visible to practice version, practice demo level, you can do that also. What is the additional thing that is missing from the? You can see from here what is the thing that you want? You want version, you want account, you want time, you want level, you want dimensions. You can see time, account, level. Version is by default, you need not mention, but there is something missing. What is that? Dimension and attributes. How do you add dimensions? You select on the left-hand side. You click on the dimensions here. Which dimension you want to add? This is the dimension that you want to add, product. You add this product name here. You can see product ABC. It's already selected for you, correct? You created one more dimension, which was sales representative. I just clicked on it and I just dragged it down here. This will also be visible here. Now I will save the model. I'm just saving this model and then I will go back here summary and I will go on the first option. Here you added the front end thing. Now you add the back end thing. Go in cube accounts. You will see the entire thing is empty. Everything will be empty. Whatever accounts you created here were outside. Right? They were outside in the custom accounts. But can you use custom accounts in cube accounts? The answer is no. You can use it. I will tell you the trick later on. But as of now, when you create a new cube sheet, you should understand that cube sheet functions in a different way. You have to create a separate account here. You will get an option here cube standard account and cube calculated account. This is how you create. For example, if you want to build this sheet, this is a standard account. This is a standard account, but this is a calculated account because we are running a formula. For certain accounts, you will use the first option, which is a create new cube standard account, but for calculated accounts, you use the second option, which is your create new calculated account. Let's build one by one. I would say I would click on the first option. I would just say copy pasted number of products. Number of products. This is an input. It's the same number and it is the same feature like an account which we did. Now notice this code section. What did we do? We created an account here, correct? Just like we did in a custom account. But what happened here? Do you see? Something has changed. Correct? Any guesses? Where did this come from? Safe underscore cube it is. This is that prefix, that prefix for this particular cube sheet. Whenever you write a formula addressing this account, it will be having the entire code mentioned here, entire code for starting from the prefix and the account code. Similarly, we want to create another account. No, I don't want a child account. I want you inside this. I want purchase price quantity underscore and you can import here also. It's the same thing, which we will do not worry. Let's take a currency for it and just save it. Now I want to do it a calculated account. I want to write a formula. Which one I will use? I will use the second account. Second box, I will click on create new thing. What is the account? Which is total purchase price. It is this account into this account. Let's try this. This is also currency. And I am going to write 0 here as of now and just save it. I just want to see if it is working. Well, I will open the formula version to write the formula because don't worry, at the moment I am doing it quickly. But the formula will have a separate section. What is the formula for this? It is basically this account into this account. I will double click on the first account into. Double click on this account. Can you read the syntax? It is act dot, which is this normal syntax of an account. Account this into account. It is addressing the account name here and it is addressing the prefix of the sheet here and it is addressing which account. It is basically one account into another account and you just click on, but at the moment it's not allowing me to save. Also, it's because of this. They have done certain changes. Let's try to change it in practice version. Practice budget. Alright formula. We would do this in detail. This is advanced concepts of adaptive. At the moment you just write. Understand how we can write a formula. This is the formula. This into this, do is and save it. This is how you will save the formula and you have created this. Now let's see if we have completed the sheet or not. Is it reflecting here, chef practice? We have built practice sheet. We have built a cube sheet also. Let's say I'm going to open this here. Let's say it's visible here. Right, Save Cube practice is there. Now you will understand what is the difference between this standard sheet that you built the same model and this standard sheet which you have just now built. I want the data only for 23 because I want it similar. Let's say 22 is for me. Can you notice the change? Yes, it is the same format, same format. It is exactly the same replica of this thing. Only thing is, we did not create all the accounts, but we can create all the accounts similar way, but the display remains the same. This is accounts here, time here, version here, and the levels are here. But here you can see levels here. But now, can you tell me how many products are sold? Yes, you can tell me. Or you can tell me. You can just select the product name here and select the sales representative, correct? Let's jump to X thing and just check if we can enter data here. At least I doubt we can. At the moment, this is not visible. Let's go in product, for example, and let's say product was sold by Julie, for example. Let's go inside Julie here because this is the lowest level. No, not yet. We want to see which store it is. It is, let's say in user, Julie is working inside New York for store number 1006. You are capturing the data at this level of intersection. At the moment, it is not allowing you to data enter. It's citing it's not giving the, but can you notice this blue triangle again? What does this mean? It is nothing but your calculation calculated. Whatever data input you will be doing here, the calculations will be reflecting in the third one. This is the difference between a standard sheet and a cube sheet. Cube sheet. Whenever you want to do planning at a dimension level, you will make it as a cube sheet whenever you want. You don't want it to be planning at any dimension. It is just a standard statement like a financial P&L or a balance sheet. You build it in a standard sheet format. You should understand when to build a cube sheet and when to build a standard sheet. Looking at this example, is this a dot clear to you? Yes. Now, if you want to do analysis on which color products were sold, how can you do it? You basically add the color attribute here. It's just simple. You go in again in this cube builder and there will be an attribute section where you might have been created an attribute for the color and it was a product name or product. I don't remember. I think product name this color product. You add the color product here and just save it. That means from the sheet itself or in the report you can understand which color products you sold it more. That's the understanding and the difference between a model sheet and a cube sheet. Sorry, in a standard sheet and a cube sheet, you can see the color is also visible. In the sheet itself, you can filter directly that I want to understand how many ping phones were sold in this month. In this Excel, you get an Excel file. What you do, you run the pivot and do everything. You filter, you do something, filter here, and give the data. But in here, you have to mention, you have to select. Basically, you need to understand that if you, whatever dimensions you entered here, you have to have that level of combination. Basically, here, what was the significance of 100? The significance of 100 was simple. It was a number of products purchased in the month of January for Bangalore level. But what is the significance of this 100? Any guesses? It is basically the units purchased during Jan 22, right? It is the same, but something will get added. It is basically a number of products purchased in the month of January. Let's say it was in New York. It was in New York, but this was a laptop product. Or a laptop product, right? It was a laptop product sold by Julie, and this was a, let's say, pink phone, pink. This level of data is captured in here. Every intersection, this data needs to be done. For Julie, for Alex, for Monica, all the levels, all the data will be different, and you need to record it in the system. You understand, for every laptop, you need separate data. For Lenovo laptop, you need data in that. But in a standard sheet, it was all generalized. There was no bifurcation. This is the difference between a standard sheets and a cube sheet. If you want, this exactly is the same. In a cube sheet, which I explained herein, here only thing is, you will not get the split option. Basically, there is one add row option. Basically, you can add account directly here. If you want to create additional accounts, you can create here itself. At the moment, it is disabled because we don't have all the edit access here. Here also you can do the spark lines and the thing. Display options will be there. The spark lines is there. It's the same thing. There are certain additional features here where you restrict the time, where you can restrict the accounts. Also, that suppose you don't want this account to be displayed, purchase, price, quantity, I will select, and that account should not be visible in the sheet anymore. You can do it in the front end also. You can do it in the back end also. Let's see what is another feature, its levels. Basically, if you don't want this to be visible in any other level, you can just untick that and just that. Those levels will not be visible here in this sheet. That means they cannot see the data, they cannot enter the data, that is the only thing. Same goes with product, same goes with the sales representative, and same goes with color. This display options gives you the feasibility to restrict the sheet from the front end. And how you can do it from the back end. You go it here, and suppose I want to restrict from the back end that this sheet should only be visible. For this level, let's do it right now. Let's do it for Shift. It should only be visible inside store 106. I will click here and I will click this. I will now refresh the sheet. The refresh button is here, and then you will notice that you are not able to select any other stores from Mumbai, any other stores from Bangalore. You will see here, you can see you. Can you notice anything, any other level here apart from the store linen 6? Only thing is the parent thing, which is by default. It is given because you need to have a roll-up level for store 106, which rolls up to New York, which rolls up to user, and which rolls up to user. What is that? New York only. I was coming to it. For every parent level, for every parent level in the hierarchy, only level is created. For New York, it is a parent level. Only level is created. For user, only level is created, and for this also only level is created. Now tell me, why only level was not created for store 106? That was a child. That is a child exactly. This only level is only visible in the sheet and not anywhere else. If you notice, it is not visible in the levels. It is basically a given. You know, if there are certain kind of assumptions that are to be entered, to be entered at some kind of level. Basically, if you want increment to be given for New York people and New York shows, you can use New York only, and that data is entered there. Usually that is not used. There is another way to tackle it, which is create a new planning level for New York and you enter. There are two ways to tackle that. But yes, for every parent level, one only level is created by default in Adaptive and which you can visible in the sheet. With this, we complete a standard sheet and a cube sheet. Any doubts in this? Any doubts with respect to standard and a cube? Nothing like that. No, it was clear. You understood the limitations of a standard. Now we'll try to understand the limitations of a cube sheet. Let's say you are building a salary model. You are building a salary model and there are 100 employees or maybe 1,000 employees and 1,000 employees. And whenever you notice a salary, you have a lot of columns, a lot of 58 columns. You know the columns you mean. I mean whatever there is there in the horizontal axis, basically, sometimes it is there. What is Kitsi is broken down. What is fixed? You know what is fixed. Then what is your variable component? You know what is your bonus, right? What is your address? What is your date of birth, right? Are you getting the point? Or what we are trying to capture? Yes. Now tell me, looking at this sheet, can you capture the date of birth of Julie? No, can you capture when, at what particular time this or date this product was sold? The product. Can you capture the date? Can you write any remarks here? Can you write any text like, Julie sold this product to somewhere, like this? Can you write any description? Nothing there, nothing now. Just note down all this sum because you will have to tell in the interview also that why cube sheet is limited. You cannot add a date column, you cannot add a description column, and there is also limitations that suppose there are 14 to 20 dimensions that you need to add in a sheet. Can you do it in a cube sheet? The answer is no. In a cube sheet, there are very limited number of dimensions that you can add. That is that. The number is 10. You cannot add more than 10 dimensions here. As soon as the requirement comes from the client that I require a lot of columns, I require a lot of dimensions to be captured. I require address field. I require date column because I want to know when that particular company person has joined the company. When he has the company, what is the date of birth of that person? What is the address? What is the salary? You know those columns. You can just imagine what is the salary structure, salary data looks like for any organization. The data is very huge, and in terms of rows also. It can be 1,000, it can be 1 lakh also. It can be a lot of data. There is a restriction in this particular cube sheet which you cannot fulfill. And that's why a model sheet comes into picture, which we will do it tomorrow. To answer to your question, You should understand the difference between a standard sheet and a cube sheet. And then you need to understand the difference between a cube sheet, and a model sheet. Does this help now? Yes, yes, yes. This is the reason why I wanted you to focus that how you can build a standard sheet first, a cube sheet first, and then it will be very easy to understand the difference between cube and a model sheet. The most important difference between a cube and a model is the number of dimensions that you can have. Perfect, correct, and the date columns is also important because you require that date column in many things. I will quickly show you one example of a model sheet where you will see how dates are even captured. I think workforce planning can be one. Let's see if we have any data in that. You will see date columns are also there. I will just click on operations. It is just like a customization thing. Whatever people can do in Excel file. Each and everything. They can change to columns also. They can change to this also. I will have to change your work budget also. I hope today's session was also clear for you with respect to standard and cube. We would do exercise later on when we do the import template. And you can see. Now we have the data for workforce planning. Now you just see the number of columns. It can be anything. The number of columns can be as number as they want. And then you have the date column also. Then you have the comments column also. The people can write anything here, Then you can have percentage columns also. You can have normal number columns also. You can add n number of dimensions here and you can have n number of rows also here. There is no restriction on that. This is what we will try to build tomorrow when we study model sheet in detail. Now we close the session for today with this CF. Practice a cube sheet and the standard sheet. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.